ayayere uyo uko kuno apo pano mamuona kere nai.
Right, 20 October 2021, and today I've got two special guests, and I'll start with the lady, Miss Patience Dzvova, who is the Harare spokesperson for Zimbabwe People's Action Party, and my usual guest, President Steve Mutambuwa. How are you, ma'am and sir?
I'm very well, thank you.
I'm very well, Mr. Gambaro. Thank you very much for having us here on this show.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mutambuwa. And today we've got a very, very critical topic that is threatening to disrupt the whole country. And this is to do with recent reports of attacks by the MDC alliance of Nelson Chamisa. He was traveling in Masvingo, he went to Bikita, he went to Chiredzi, and then he went to Mutare. And during this time, he's been claiming that he's being attacked by ZANU-PF supporters. So I want to start by showing you the attack. And this is very, very interesting. The attack in Mutare, I want to show you the video of the people attacking him. And then we'll take it from there. So there are two videos. Let's start with the first one, where Chamisa was being blocked by Hilux vehicles.
What is your problem? Problem in here. Problem in here. What is problem?
Right, so that is the first video that I'm showing you. That is Chamisa security going to the cars, to two Hilux vehicles that were attacking Chamisa and asking if there's a problem. Now I want to show you Chamisa's Hilux at the point when he was shot at, or when they say he was shot at. Right, you saw that, right? President Mutambuwa,
Yes.
Are you
Yes,
clear
yes.
of what is happening there?
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Gambaro. I think on this whole issue, as we see it, I think there's something which is happening. We can't really say Mr. Chamisa is faking these attacks. You know, if he's faking these attacks, I think the police should come in and do the investigations. Like I was watching this press statement by Mr. Iti this afternoon. He said they made they went to Manicaland police station, and they put forward their concern about these attacks. Because our concern in Zimbabwe People's Action Party is, if these gatherings which Chamisa is conducting were approved by the police, why are the police not arresting these people who are there, who are blocking the roads for Chamisa to pass through? So I think there's something which is happening here. And in the Zimbabwe People's Action Party, we have no conclusion on this issue until we got the final details from the police. That is after their investigations.
Okay, President, I hear you. Now I want to go to Miss Patience Dzvova. There is Chamisa's statement on Twitter today. They almost took me out. He wants me killed and dead. They want blood and more blood. They missed by seconds because our God is in it. Mrs. Dzvova, was Chamisa missed by seconds there?
According to what I see there, I cannot clearly say. I understand what was happening there, because it's not even clear. And I'm not really sure of these attacks, because we're not sure who these people are. We cannot point the people. What if, right? So this statement to me, it's not right.
Is it not true?
Okay.
Is it not true, Mrs. Dzvova, that Chamisa's bodyguards were standing near two closed Hilux vehicles with no open windows, and they were in fact questioning the people who were in the cars?
And who are those people?
No, but the question stands from my side. If someone wanted to ambush you, are you going to be able to walk up to them and have a conversation with them?
No, you can't.
Okay, and then let's go back to the video. I want us to go back to the video of Chamisa. Okay, is this not a drama?
This is clearly a drama. This is, if it was an ambush, there was no point for them to go and speak to those guys. Clearly, it shows that this was a planned drama. This was a planned scene. There is nothing like ambush. According to what I'm seeing, there is nothing like ambush. So this statement is fake.
Okay, let's go to what Tendai Biti said today. And I want us to look at how they're interpreting this. And Mr. Mutambuwa, the next question is going to be for you. This is Tendai Biti speaking this afternoon, and let's take it from there.
So in conclusion, I want to call upon the international community, in particular SADC, that the situation in Zimbabwe is burning, that a soft landing needs to be created, and the only thing that will create a soft landing is genuine dialogue by the two principal organizations in this country, the MDC Alliance and ZANU-PF, and by the two principal actors in this country, Mr. Mnangagwa and Advocate Nelson Chamisa. Anything else is just a side show, and you know that I'm referring to Poland. It's an important side show. That dialogue must focus on the reforms. We need reforms to the Electoral Act.
Right. So you had Tendai Biti's demands out of this incident. He wants dialogue between President Mnangagwa and Nelson Chamisa. What is your comment on that, Mr. Mutambuwa?
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Gamba. I think on this issue, going back, why are these things, all these, why are they happening now? Knowing very well that there are a delegation which is coming to Zimbabwe for the fact-finding on sanctions. I think there are two scenarios here. It's either, that is why we said we want to wait for the police to do the investigation to see whether this is a real attack on Chamisa, or it's something which is being stage managed. Because like now, you know, the whole drama started in Mashingo, and people knew very well that there's a delegation which is coming here, and on this issue, you know, when there are these things, I think maybe MDC, they want to get involved, since they did not join the Poland, and they refused to join Poland. So what it was saying is they don't want those other parties which are in Poland to be on the negotiating table. He wants ZANU-PF and MDC to be in negotiation for like a government of national unity. I think maybe that's why I said there are two scenarios here. Maybe it's they wanted the international people to see what is happening, and they are concerned. And I also heard BT was saying Ramaphosa should intervene in Zimbabwe. You know, there are many stories here.
Okay, so let us unpack, and I want to give you, Mrs. Patience Dzvova, an opportunity to answer here. Is this an international incident that warrants international intervention? Looking at what we've seen, is this an international incident?
Oh, thank you for your question. According to what I see, it seems we are dealing with kids. This is just a mere issue of misunderstanding of two people who are not understanding each other. Why should we invite international people to intervene? Because this is not something serious. This is something that we can sit down and figure out how we can move on. This shows the immaturity of elderly people, according to what I see. This is our house. We need to try and put our house in order. We need to put our house in order, not to like every small thing we have to run to be some other people's puppets. No, we need to learn to stand our ground. We need to learn to fix our problems by ourselves. There is nothing that needs international intervention here, according to what I see.
Okay. Mr. Mutambuwa, do you have anything to add on whether this is an international incident or not?
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Gamba. I think this one is it's for us Zimbabweans here. You know, from the way I look at it, now we are 2 years before we conduct our elections. So why do we need the government of national unity now? You know, when we are about to go for elections, I think here there is a party which is which is conducting their meeting people during their gatherings, selling their party for the 2023 election. They are saying go and register, to vote. So when you are telling people go and register to vote, and on the other side you are saying no, we need to negotiate. We need to sit down and negotiate. I think it's not clear from the way we see it from Zimbabwe People's Action Party.
Okay, so let's go through the reactions from prominent people in Zimbabwe. I want to start with Ibo Mandaza. He says that the assassination attempt on main opposition leader Nelson Chamisa shows that the crisis in Zimbabwe cannot be resolved through elections. Elections will only yield more violence and even another coup. So I think the narrative is continuing. Tendai Biti says there should be dialogue between ZANU-PF and MDC. So it's linking here. Mandaza is saying there should be no elections because of what happened, that video that we played. So all the elections should be cancelled. Then let's go to Petsai Rohanya. Pezarwanya says MTC Alliance should take extra measures when Nelson Chamisa is in places with the masses who want to converse with him, because one of these days someone planted in the crowds could harm him. And I think Pezarwanya makes a very important point here. If someone really wanted to kill Nelson Chamisa, they were just going to go to Bechenaf Bridge, and when he was standing around all those people and harm him. But that didn't happen. So it's one of the key points that I'm seeing. It's a key point that Ruhanya is making there. In fact, they should not make any security measures, because I don't think anyone wants to kill Chamisa. Let's go to, oh, sorry, this is Carl Joshua Ngove with his divorce. Chamisa says, they nearly took me out. I think I'm running out of my tweets there. Let's go to Fadzai Mahere. I think this will be interesting. Violence of the sort experienced in Mashingo has broken out in Mutare, where President Chamisa is set to meet community leaders. A number of Hilux vehicles carrying armed rowdy thugs are advancing toward the president's convoy. So I think Fadzai Mahere has got a habit of exaggerating. We all saw the video, and I think this is the point when we need to replay this video so that everyone can see that Fadzai Mahere is exaggerating. There was not a number of vehicles advancing. In fact, there were 2 vehicles that were just parked. So let's play it and let's see what Mahere calls rowdy thugs. Right, far from what Fadzai Mahere is saying, the guys in the Hilux are sitting still. There's no one rowdy, there's no one approaching Chamisa. And she says the second assassination attempt in 7 days on President Nelson Chamisa is cause for international and continental concern. Right, so I think it's clear here, and I don't want to put words into your mouth, President Mutambuwa. The MDC wants international intervention. Am I correct to say this? This is what they want. And if you look at all their communication, let's look at their statement. I'm going to upload this on Gambako. If you go to gambako.com now, you're going to see the statement from Fadzai Mahere. They clearly say they want international intervention because of what has happened over the past week. Now, let's go to our question. Is this the reason why these attacks, purported attacks, are being publicized? Is Chamisa seeking engagement with President Mnangagwa, and he wants to use this method to talk to him? I think Mrs. Dzova, you can conclude with that answer, and then we can go to Mr. Mutambuwa.
I don't agree. I don't agree.
Okay.
I feel like Chamisa is having this habit of running to other people's homes for help. He cannot stand on him or for himself. Every small thing, he runs to the neighboring, to the next door to seek for help. Of which, as a grown-up man who is standing to be the president, some of the things you need to stand. In those 2 vehicles, there is nothing of sort. There is nothing like an attack. Those guys in those highlights, they were just sitting in those cars. They didn't even advance to them. So why are they seeking other people to intervene? I don't see a reason why. To me, it doesn't make sense.
Okay, but is there a reason for intervention in Zimbabwe? Tendai Biti yesterday said, and I think we should replay this for those who didn't see. Tendai Biti says Zimbabwe is violent, ZANU-PF is a bloodthirsty vampire party. Let's hear him speaking.
The attack on our president, Advocate Nelson Chamisa, is irrevocable proof beyond reasonable doubt, irrefutable proof beyond a shadow of doubt that ZANU is a bloody, violent, fascist, illegitimate tired and exhausted liberation movement. This is the message we have been trying to make to President Ramaphosa and to SADC, that Zimbabwe is a lawless country run by a tired, exhausted liberation movement that has no respect to constitutionalism, the rule of law, and the rights of its citizens.
All right, Mr. Mutambuwa, is that true? I think this question needs to be answered because Tendai Biti says there's no rule of law in the country. That's why they want international intervention. Is this true?
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Kamako. I think on this, if you look at this whole scenario, there is that the negotiating factor, which is there in the MDC camp. They want to sit down with the ZANU-PF, because looking at how things are happening right now, starting with the Mashingo scenario, then going to Mutare. When you are under attack, like what is happening, what they are saying, you can't move from one, let's say from one district to another district, the whole day. You're in the same province. If there is war, if there are gunshots and the like. So I think looking at this issue, that's why I say, I think we need the police to investigate to see what is really happening. Maybe because, as you know, there are some factions in the MDC. Maybe, another faction is causing this mayhem, or maybe it's the ruling party. So what we want is to hear the investigations from the police, because the police, they work 24/7. And also, if this gathering, I think if you are to hold the gathering, the first thing you do is to go to the police and get a clearance. If you are approved, you go there. That's why we are saying, this is conducting, were they approved or they were not? If they were approved, I don't see the reason why the police are standing there while people are blocking, the roads, people are firing guns and the like. So I think there's something which we didn't see, or which is there behind the scenes. So I think we should wait for the police investigation.
Okay, it won't happen because the MDC hasn't reported this to the police. Tendai Biti made it clear.
But it said you reported in Manicaland?
There's no such police station. Tendai Biti was just being smart. They did not make such a report.
Okay.
There is no police of that report of that nature, because Tendai Biti is a lawyer. If he had reported that case, he was going to tell you which police station they reported to. And I was listening specifically for. He just said Manicaland. So there's no such report. I challenge the MDC guys to produce the report that they made, because my biggest worry is if you create a narrative of violence where there's none, you end up causing the violence, because people now expect violence. So everyone is now it's ready to fight, and that is unnecessary if they create that narrative when it doesn't exist. But anyway, let's see what happens. There's obviously a number of violence investigations. Violence is everywhere, even within ZANU-PF. Patrick Chamisa was talking of police investigating violence in ZANU-PF. I think you saw the violent incident that happened last week in ZANU-PF.
Yes.
Are you aware of that one?
Yeah.
I think we can say safely that the next elections we are going into, they're quite critical. So, Miss Patience Dzvova, let's finalize here. Let's conclude this. What advice would you give to other political parties, as people who are going to be contesting, as Mr. Mutambuwa is going to be a candidate? What would you give as advice to all stakeholders in this election? And what would be your suggestion for a peaceful election?
Thank you. Uh, the advice that I can give to the countries that are going to send is, violence doesn't solve anything. Violence doesn't solve anything. We need peace. We need peace. We are tired of noise that brings nothing. We need to stand and bring freedom to people. People need us. People need you. So please, as our leaders, we need you to stand with us. We need you to avoid violence and to avoid lying to people. Don't create dramas in order for people to vote for you. And after that, you deliver nothing to people. We need change. We need peace in our country. We need peace. Peace starts with our fathers. Peace starts with our leaders. So let peace start with you and it flows to the whole nation. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Mutambuwa, you heard what Ms. Dzova said there, that there's need for peace. What would you say to the stakeholders is they need to create a platform for investigating such incidents to their conclusion. Like in South Africa here, they've created a body for investigating political violence. Is there a need for the similar body in Zimbabwe?
Yeah, I think we need that here in Zimbabwe. But some of the the incidents here in Zimbabwe, some of them they are being exaggerated. We've for before October, everything was okay in Zimbabwe. But after when this UN delegation was about to come to Zimbabwe, that's when we started to hear about this chaos. But I think as Zimbabweans, we should tolerate each other. This is politics. And the better thing about what is happening in Zimbabwe is there is no danger up there. The danger is on the ground, on cell what and the like. Because if you are a leader, if you tell your supporters something bad about another opposition party or another political party, it sinks into them, and they will start to uprise, doing all sorts of things. So I think what we need is to tolerate each other. We are political leaders. We should preach peace, because we are 2 years before our general elections. So I think peace starts with the leaders.
Okay, so let's conclude this, and I think let's give Ms. Patience Dzvova the last word. Is there anything else you want to say before we close?
Well, thank you. I just want to encourage the people of Zimbabwe that violence doesn't solve anything. We are one. Let us not destroy our nation by doing things that we will regret tomorrow. Let us work together. Let us work as family. We are one. Let us stand together and build Zimbabwe together. And we are here to work with you. We are here to stand with the people. We are here to bring the change in our nation. Thank you.
Other problem, we don't have. Very problem.
So in conclusion, I want to call upon the international community, in particular SADC, that the situation in Zimbabwe is burning, that a soft landing needs to be created, and the only thing that will create a soft landing is genuine dialogue by the two principal organizations in this country, the MDC Alliance and ZANU-PF, and by the two principal actors in this country, Mr. Mnangagwa and Advocate Nelson Chamisa. Anything else is just a side show, and you know that I'm referring to Poland. It's an important side show. That dialogue must focus on the reforms. We need reforms.
Uko kuno